Hey guys, welcome back to another Premier League transfer update video. The transfer window is coming to a close, just 8 days left until it shuts, and there could still be some really big potential moves to be made. But before we get into those rumours, let's take a look at some confirmed signings over the past few days and what I think about them. This series is brought to you by Kitbag, the worldwide leader for official football kits. Do check out the link below to shop all their new season kits. I've also left a discount code below as well. Subscribe to my channel for more Premier League content, and let's get into the video. The first confirmed transfer I'm going to talk about is Martin Odegaard to Arsenal for £31.5 million. The Norwegian has returned to North London, and this time it's on a permanent deal. So Arsenal were reportedly keen from the get-go to get him, and they finally wrapped up the signing. He didn't exactly light up the Emirates last season, and his goals and assists, they leave a lot to be desired. He only got 2 goals and 1 assist. But his per 90 underlying numbers are actually quite good, with his shot creating actions, his progressive passes and progressive carries. They're all above the 85th percentile, which of course shows he is quite good at progressing the ball, but he perhaps lacks that final touch or the creativity that Arsenal desperately need. I think it's an okay signing from the Gunners, especially considering the amount of money they've spent elsewhere. They could have definitely just saved some money and gotten a more creative midfielder, in my opinion. But for now, you know what? I think it'll be an okay signing for them. I'll probably rate this signing a 5 out of 10. Alright, let's move on to Aaron Ramsdale. Now, Arsenal have been very busy this week, and they didn't stop at Odegaard. They also announced the signing of the 23-year-old English keeper Aaron Ramsdale from Sheffield United. The fee was around £24 million, and I think this signing has gotten a mixed reception from the Arsenal fans. Some of them are pointing out the fact that Ramsdale has been relegated with every Premier League club he's been at, which doesn't show him in a particularly good light. Yes, the fee I think is a bit too much, but then again you could say that Ramsdale is better with his feet than Bernardino, and Ramsdale also fulfills the homegrown quota, which I think is another important factor in Arsenal deciding to go for him. He did also have a marginally better save percentage than Lino, 70.7% to 68.2%, but it's also worth noting that Ramsdale of course did face a lot more shots than Lino. I feel it's another kind of okay signing from Arsenal, and I think it's another one who I think doesn't necessarily improve the first team immediately, but will eventually take over. I think I'd give this deal about a 4 out of 10, just because I think the fee was too high for a keeper so similar to one that they already have. Next up, let's talk about Brandon Williams. The young English left-back has completed his loan move from Manchester United to Norwich City. Just yesterday, actually, it was last night they confirmed it. Williams didn't play that much last season for United, and he appeared sporadically in cup competitions for them. His minutes have unfortunately been limited by the arrival of Alex Telles and of course the hot form of Luke Shaw as well, so he hasn't really been able to make his mark. He's an academy graduate, and he made his first appearance in 2019 in the Carabao Cup as a left back. I think Norwich signed him as competition for the left back spot and to hopefully tighten up their leaky defence. In my opinion, I think this will be a good move for the development of Williams. I think especially because it's another Premier League club, so of course that experience will be invaluable. I'll give this move a 7 out of 10. Alright, now let's talk about Harvey Barnes' contract extension at Leicester City. So I feel last season was Barnes' season. He really was in the form of his life prior to the injury. He scored 13 goals and he was just so lively down the left wing. His season unfortunately did come to a premature end when he sustained that knee injury against Arsenal. That essentially ended his season, and he only really came back from injury at the start of this season, so Brendan Rodgers will definitely welcome him back with open arms. I think Leicester have just rewarded his brilliant performances with this new contract, and it's until 2025 with some new improved terms. I think it's a very well-deserved contract for a player who's shown great development over the past 12 months. I think I'll give this deal an 8 out of 10. Now that the confirmed deals are done and out the way, let's look at some of the deals that are still being rumoured or are quite close to completion. I think it feels right to just start with Harry Kane. Another week, another development in the Kane to Man City saga. Reports have now emerged that last week, The Guardian said that Man City are ready to pay £127 million to secure his signature, should they get the green light from Daniel Levy, that is. And Spurs have repeatedly said that Kane is not for sale, and they rejected that £100 million offer earlier on. It is being reported that a bid of around £150 million could persuade Levy to sell Kane, but of course City's deal does fall short of that. I think the saga isn't over and it could heat up in the final week, so I'll report more on that if we have any solid developments there. Okay, now let's talk about Adama Treyore. So reports suggest that he could move from Wolves to Spurs for around £40 million, and this transfer may well depend on whether or not Kane leaves. The Guardian have said that Spurs will go in for the Spanish winger if Harry Kane does go to Man City. I think Treyore enjoyed his best years under the current Spurs boss, Nuno Espirito Santo, and they seem to have a good relationship. He has 2 years left on his current contract, and Spurs want to take him on loan initially before paying the fee, which is touted to be around £40 million, like I said. Treyore obviously wouldn't be the replacement for Harry Kane, but under his old manager, and especially on the counter, I do think Treyore could form a deadly partnership with Heung-min Son up top. Definitely wouldn't be the worst deal in the world by Spurs, in my opinion, so we'll have to look out for the developments on that. Now let's talk about Yves Bissouma. So the Brighton midfielder was the centre of a lot of transfer rumours early on in the window, if you remember. Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, they were all reportedly interested in the 24-year-old Malian. Brighton won around the region of £50 million for him, and since then a lot of this interest has cooled down. He's once again been linked to Old Trafford, and Graham Potter has come out this week and said, "I can't control the future, I don't know what's going to happen," essentially. So I think a move to Man United is highly unlikely, but I wouldn't 100% rule it out just yet. Lastly, let's cover the rumours surrounding Julikunday to Chelsea. This deal has definitely picked up in the last day or so. Koundé and Chelsea have agreed on personal terms, and the contract will last until June 2026. Fabrizio Romano also reports that both clubs, Chelsea and Sevilla, they're both still negotiating, and that Koundé will be respectful and he won't force a move. Koundé does have a release clause in his current contract, which is around £68 million, but Chelsea aren't looking to pay that, and that's why, the negotiations are still ongoing between both clubs. Another factor I should probably add is that Chelsea are waiting to see how much money they can get from West Ham for Kurt Zouma, as he looks set for a move to the London Stadium, and this is before making their bid to Sevilla for Koundé. Chelsea are believed to want around £75 million for Zouma, and apparently West Ham are content with that. Zouma is still negotiating directly with the club in regards to personal terms, but once they get that sorted, it seems like he will be a West Ham player, and then, Chelsea can get their main man, Koundé. It seems like a matter of when rather than if for this Koundé deal to go through, and if it does, it just further solidifies Chelsea's already elite defence. I think this signing will make them title favourites for sure, and I think it will be very, very tough to beat them this season. Well, there you have it, my latest transfer update. We now enter the final week of the transfer window and things will really heat up, so I'll bring you another update in a few days, so do subscribe for that. Comment below all of your thoughts on these signings, and remember to check out Kitbag's new season kits on the link below. You can use my promo code for a discount too. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.